When did you realize you wanted to run triathlons as a career? Or is that still the career goal? I'm not sure.
Yeah, so like I mean, right now, with my coach, our goal is to get to like that professional level. So right now, it's like an elite type amateur-ish level.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not racing in the sense that like you're earning like a weekly paycheck from her, stuff like that. But the goal is to get there where I can actually maybe someday make a living out of it, and that will be my goal until I at least can see him get to that level. So when did that kind of become like my?
Yeah, when did you realize that this was more than just a hobby?
I would say probably at Texas. As far as I know, there hasn't been many other people at 23 years old that have gone under 9 hours, and I knew that going into Texas, but I didn't really think I could do it. And when I did it, and I started putting the pieces of the puzzle together and kind of doing research on the people who at 23 years old went under 9 hours and what they turned into, then I'm like, okay, damn, if I really stick with this, I think I can do something with it. Because the guys that went under 9 hours at 23 years old, they turned into very, very accomplished triathletes.
Now, we touched on your father a little bit.
Yep.
How did your father being diagnosed with cancer affect your running and your goals? At that point in your life, I understand it was a while ago.
Yeah, so that was almost 2 years now. At the time, I kind of put everything other than like family and being with my dad, kind of everything else is kind of on the back burner at that point. So I was in grad school, but I still had eligibility for track. But I was running and everything at the time, but I wasn't competing. I didn't really, if I wasn't running, I didn't care. So it wasn't my focus. So I kind of put everything on hold at that point in my life. But at the same time, it definitely strengthened my goals and my aspirations with running, because anytime I think you see someone go, even if it's yourself, you go through a hardship, a struggle, someone pass away, someone gets sick, I would say you probably gain a deeper appreciation for life, because you're like, damn, at the split second anything can change, and you might not be able to do what you could do the day before. So it definitely strengthened my my will to really push myself, because you don't, like, from that point on, I was like, damn, like, I could get sick and I might lose my health tomorrow. I don't know. So as long as I'm healthy and as long as I can go out there and push myself,
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it like it's the last day I'm going to be alive.
So going back to Kona, what was the best thing about Kona and what was the worst thing about Kona?
Alright, so...
the race or anything there. You can just talk about Hawaii in general. Dream, right?
Trying to think. The best thing about Kona. Well, I guess I'll do the best, like, outside of the race and then the race. So,
okay.
Outside of the race, Hawaii is a really beautiful island. To be, like, in that culture, it's pretty cool.
Did you meet Moana?
I did not. But I'd say the coolest thing about Hawaii is, and it was a big topic, especially with the Ironman that year, is aloha, which is, it's like hello, it's a greeting in Hawaii, but it's also, it has a deeper meaning. It's like the spirit of aloha. And that's really just being kind. In the biggest sense, what I take away from it is just how you treat the earth, how you treat others, how you present yourself. And it's a very down-to-earth spirit. And like when you're in Hawaii or Kona on the islands, you just embody that spirit, the aloha spirit. It's really laid back. It's fun there. I think if you take in the culture, that was definitely the coolest part, was just taking in the culture and just kind of trying to embody that spirit while I was there. And then the coolest thing about the race was probably, or the best part about the race, I would say the swim start was definitely the coolest part, because they're playing like tribal drums and everything, and there was a lot of people wrapped around like the roadway and the pier and everything, and there's drums going, there's helicopters doing the aerial views and everything.
So that's amazing.
So like, yeah, you have the NBC helicopters taking like the live footage and everything, and then for a few minutes before you start, you're like, all right, damn, this is the World Championship race. There's helicopters taking pictures and filming, and
you're on the big stage now, boy.
Well, yeah, we're going for it. And probably, wasn't the other question the hardest part?
Yeah, what was the hardest part?
The hardest part was probably realizing, like, after the whole bike thing that, like, I'm just racing it to finish it. It was hard, but I liked it because it put me in a position that I wasn't used to. So, not that it made me uncomfortable, but it takes you out of your element, and that's good to be out of your element because it exposes you to new things, and I think if you put yourself out of your element in a place you're not used to, and you have to do something you're not used to, it makes you a better person, a better athlete, or whatever you're doing.
So now this is from people I've watched about being successful and stuff. Would you say taking yourself out of your comfort zone advances yourself?
Yeah, definitely. So if it's taking yourself out of your comfort zone, I would say if you're an athlete, take yourself out of your comfort zone, that's something we as athletes do on a regular basis. We're pushing ourselves in workouts every day, and trying to find that next little push to, break through in a workout or a training cycle. And a lot of time, it's uncomfortable, but you find new levels of threshold and with your pain and everything. So if you break out of that comfort zone, if you only stay in your comfort zone, you're never going to progress. So you constantly have to keep pushing the limits. And that goes for anything, though. Like if you're whatever field of work someone's in, if they're trying to advance in their job, just don't get comfortable with doing the same thing every single day because you'll just fit in average. Not that it's bad to be average if
that's what you want, right?
Yeah, if you're okay with that. But if you have some crazy goal you want to accomplish, you gotta go out. You gotta be different. You gotta be weird. You gotta do things different.
All right. How do you stay motivated, basically?
So I stay motivated.
So you believe, obviously you believe in it. So
yeah. I stay motivated. A little bit is I can't explain it, like why I do.
It's just kind of your own personal.
Yeah, I think it's just how, in a way, I think it's how I'm wired. My nature is I always want to be doing something, so I focus that energy on training for triathlons, competing in triathlons. But I would say my biggest motivation that keeps me going every day is and I think it goes back to when my dad got sick, is it really, you don't know, how long you have in life. You don't know if you're going to get sick or if you're going to get in a car accident or you're going to crash your bike and you're never going to be able to walk again. You don't know.
So don't waste it.
Yeah, so, if you have the ability now, use it. And that's what motivates me every single day. So, if I wake up tomorrow and I'm fine, I'm going to do everything I normally do 100% as best as I can.
Now the fun questions. What is a skill you would like to learn and why? That you don't know already.
A skill I'd like to learn and why? That's a good one. Alright, so a skill I would like to learn, would probably be carpentry. Not that I don't know how to do basic things.
Jesus was a carpenter.
Yeah, he was. No, I would really like to know how to build a house. That's a skill a lot of people I feel our age just don't know how to do anymore. I feel back in the 1800s and early 1900s, like I feel like everyone knew how to do carpentry because it was like needed.
Yeah.
But now we live in a world where it's so like technology based, and there's so many other people, like companies that can just do it for you. Like I want to know how to like build a house if I need to. Like I can do certain things, you know.
Yeah.
Build, but like I want to like how to. That would be cool to know. Just like be a contractor or something.
Yeah. What are you most afraid of?
What am I most afraid of? I am most afraid of that. I would say, like losing the ability to do something. Like, you know, like what if you just lost the ability to like walk, or you know what I mean?
Yeah,
or, like,
I understand. I see what you're saying.
Or like, what you just got like sick or something, and you lose your ability to do what you like to do. Like it's kind of scary. Like
now, a follow-up question on that. Is that you feel that's part because of your father?
In a way, yeah. But like that's what motivates me though. Like the fact that like you could lose your ability, your health to do stuff that you could once do. You can't do it anymore. So like, not that it scares me, but like that's in the back of my mind. Like that's what motivates me. That's not that I'm like I guess fearful of it, but in a way like. I am to a degree, like, okay, what if it just, like, I can't ride my bike, I can't run anymore, I can't go walk or something.
Yeah, well, tomorrow's my last day to do this.
Yeah, so, like, it's not that I'm, like, afraid of it, but, like, that's, like, what motivates me. Who do I most admire?
Yes.
Like, are we talking in terms of, like a celebrity type status, or, like, or anyone?
I think anyone would be suffice for this.
Anyone. Well, I definitely admire a few people. I like the first person, like, definitely admire, like, my mom, like, huge. You know, and if
I do too. Just like your mom's amazing.
And like, if my dad was still alive, like both my parents. But yeah, of course, like definitely her. Like, I mean, without your parents, like, there'd be no way in hell, like, you would be where you are today.
Yeah.
And like, anyone that disrespects their parents is ridiculous. Like bad disrespects their parents, but like, no, definitely my mom.
Right.
And then definitely, I would definitely admire my like Kevin, my coach, for sure. Just in what he's able to do as a coach. Like he can, he goes much further than being a coach. So like, I just definitely like admire him also. Like
So Kevin Crossman and your parents.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
If you won the lottery, what would you do?
If I won the lottery, so we're talking like $500 million, right? Is that
Mega Millions,
so
big bucks. Yeah.
If I won millions of dollars,
if you didn't have to worry about money, let's say that. Yeah.
Like the obviously the first thing that comes into mind. And I think anyone's, like, obviously you'd pay off, like, any debts you had, just so you don't have to worry about it anymore. But that's, like, the stupid one. I would make sure the people closest to me are completely taken care of forever. And then I would help the community in any way possible with the money. So, like, if we were talking Glens Falls or something, if I had millions of dollars...
You'd fix our freaking potholes?
Yeah, no, I would...
I'm sorry, but we have a lot of them around here.
I would try to donate as much of the money I could to, like, help the city out. Whether it's give money to youth programs or, like, Parks and Rec or the schools or athletic clubs, anything that, could help, stuff like that. And then... So the first thing I would take care of the people that I'm around the most and all of that, and then the community, things I'm involved in. And then, honestly, you need to invest that money so you can make returns on it. And I would keep doing exactly what I'm doing now. I wouldn't buy any huge lavish...
You wouldn't quit your job at the moment or anything like that?
No. I wouldn't buy any lavish house or anything like that or whatnot. I'd buy a house, but it'd just be a normal house. But I would most certainly have a huge training facility. I would build a giant training facility, and it would have a lap pool in there. So nice. I would definitely have a huge training facility built.
What was one of your most defining moments in life?
One of the most defining moments? Honestly, I would say one of the most defining moments was crossing the finish line at Kona. Because, like, at that point, you're completely broken down. I was broken down mentally and physically at that point, but, like, I think it takes to get to, like, that level of this complete exhaustion and, like, whatever it is, like, not that it was, like, a turning point or anything, but, it helps, like, define, like, your character, and whatnot. I would say that was a big defining moment because it was eye-opening, and yeah, I mean, that was definitely one of the bigger ones.
All right. What do you want your tombstone to say? Not to be too morbid here.
What do I want my tombstone to say? I just want my tombstone to say "send them."
Send them?
Yeah.
All right.
And at that point, I wanted to say "sent," because like I already send them. Like send them is like, I don't know where it came from, but we started saying it at Cortland, and it kind of just got passed down generation after generation.
Okay.
But like send them, that just means like just go after it. And then on my tombstone, I just wanted to say sent, so like I got after it.
You got sent.
Yeah,
that's a great answer. I was expecting some.
You heard it here now. Whenever I die, my tombstone has to say sent. It doesn't even have to say my name. Just say sent.
Notice this is not a legal binding video. What's your favorite music?
My favorite music is definitely, well, the era, I think it's 60s, 70s, and 80s, so I'm a big fan of, I'm a big heavy metal fan of, like, the 80s metal, so, like, Metallica, Slayer, stuff like that, but I also like the 60s, kind of the hippie era, so, like, the Doors, Grateful Dead, Janis Joplin. So anywhere from the 60s to 80s is my go-to.
All right. What advice do you have for people going for their dreams?
What advice do I have for people going for their dreams? Definitely don't. I mean, anytime you're going for your dreams or your big goal or something, don't be discouraged by, like, your failures and whatnot, because there's always going to be highs and a low throughout the journey. So just like stay committed to it and know that all of that's part of the process. So, when you're trying to accomplish something, you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. You just got to ride the highs and ride the lows. That's all part of the journey. So the more you understand the process, the more you'll enjoy it. So just enjoy it and don't ever be discouraged by the times where it gets a little tough.
What's the future plan for 2018?
Alright, so 2018, so I'll give you a quick overview of like what my big goal is. So my goal is to qualify for 70.3 Worlds, which is the half Ironman distance, and that's in South Africa. And then obtain my professional license within the sport. So the goal is to kind of gain more experience in my racing and kind of hone in on the training a little bit more. So by the end of 2018, I've got my pro card, and then by 2019, I'm racing, I would say, professionally. I'm not amateur anymore. So I'm going to race Puerto Rico 70.3 in March. That's March 18th. And that's a half. And then 3 weeks later, I'm doing USA Duathlon Nationals. So that's a national championship race. So that's run, bike, run. And that's the standard distance. So you start with a 10K run, go on to a 40K bike, and then a 5K run. So really my goal there is to kind of chase a national title in duathlon. And that's, my specialty is bike run, so like that's my strong suit, is the bike run component of the triathlon. So I'm really excited about that. And at Puerto Rico, I'm just going to go for it and see what happens at the 70.3. And then from there, in May, I will probably race the North American Championships out in St. George, Utah for a 70.3 distance, and see where I stack up. Try to do the best I can there, and then that will bring us into June, July, August. I'll probably do some local races, some sprint triathlons, just in my training and whatnot. Maybe a few road races for running, and then I'll most likely do Syracuse 70.3. I'll probably end up doing Eagleman 70.3, which is in Maryland. The same course, or same venue, really, as the full Ironman there, but it's just a half. So I got a bunch of halves coming up, and then the duathlon nationals, and then hopefully I've qualified for 70.3 Worlds, which is in September. That's in South Africa. And my goal with duathlon nationals is to make it to the World Championships for that also, which are over in Europe for 2019.
You gonna try to go back to Kona?
Yeah, so I want to focus on the half for the next 2 or 3 years while I'm younger, and then if I get my pro card by the end of this year, I want to start racing 2019 70.3s professionally, full time. See what I can do there. So Kona, it will be revisited someday down the road, probably in my late 20s.
All right. I have a question online. It's the only one I've gotten because I'm not big like you are. Silvo Nueva, we know who this is.
Pete?
Yeah. What's the hardest part of your training regimen?
The hardest part of my training regimen. Let me think here. So the hardest part would probably be if I'm training for a full Ironman. The biking can be very. That's honestly one of the hardest parts. Is I spend a lot of time on the bike, and especially in the summer. You're out for a 5 or 6 hour bike ride. There was a few times last summer where I'm out for a single ride and it's like 125 miles. And you're on the bike like that. Almost a full work day, but on your bike essentially. Not that it's incredibly fun, but it can get tough out there. I mean, you're middle of nowhere sometimes, and it gets hard. And then recovering from that, making sure you're fueled for that. Another probably the hardest part of the training is trying to balance all 3 sports and get the most out of all 3 sports that you can. Because as a triathlete, obviously you're focusing on the swimming, the biking, and the running all simultaneously at the same time, and trying to develop your skills in all aspects. That's a hard part. To me, at least. I'm trying to develop the swim, but at the same time, I'm trying to increase my power on the bike and improve my running, or keep my running to the level where it was in college. So trying to keep everything up at a high level and keep focusing on the skill work and the volume. That's probably my hardest part, or the hardest part to me.
So Nick, thank you for having coming and let me interview with you. Do you have any sponsors you'd like to promote?
Yeah, so a big one is Grego Bicycles right in Glens Falls, New York. They'll meet all your needs for cycling. They can do bike fits. They sell all the bike gear there, nutrition and whatnot. Great staff there. So any bike needs in your Glens Falls area, I'd go there. Next one is Honey Stinger. So that's a good nutrition company. They got gels, they got bars, energy waffles. So really good for swimming, biking, running, your active lifestyle, keep you fueled. And then Adirondack Race Management, it's another good one. One of my sponsors. They put on the Lake George Triathlon Festival in September, and a few other local races. So they do a lot of good for the community in terms of the sporting events. So, and last but not least, T3 Coaching. Not really a sponsor, but that's my coach's coaching business. There's a bunch of athletes he coaches. He puts on a lot of great clinics. Puts on a spin class up at Grey Ghost. yeah, so those are it. Thanks for interviewing me.
Well, thank you for letting me bug you all day.
Yeah, it's alright.
Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this content, remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below. I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate you very much for being my best friend for years now. But yeah,
yeah, we've been on friends for like
a while.
Yeah.
So bye.
See ya.
So for those of you that don't believe me that I've known him all my life, there's a photo evidence right here. Focus. Focus. I'm right there, I swear. I'm right there.